The way out of the crisis seems to be a little further away in Algeria. Set for July 4th, the presidential elections will certainly be postponed to a later date according to the Algerian Constitutional Council, a situation that is not likely to appease the political environment in the country. Celebrated every year by the English clubs of the Gabonese capital, the 12th National English Days was celebrated this year with the support of the United States Embassy, represented by the U.S. Cultural Affairs Chargé, and the best English-speaking students were rewarded. It's a red tide. Tens of thousands of fans flocked to the street of Liverpool to welcome the Reds, the day after the triumph against Tottenham 2-0 in the Champions League final in Madrid, ending years of starvation for Liverpool. These are our top stories. Stay tuned for more details in this newscast. National English Day is a day to celebrate the language of Shakespeare, initiated by young Gabonese English-speaking students. On that day, a competition is organized to reward the English-speaking best students of the year. For this year, 2019, the promoters did not fail to celebrate the 12th edition of the National English Day. These, of course, are English clubs of various primary and secondary schools of the Gabonese capital, which share the language of Shakespeare. The celebration was enhanced by the presence of the Cultural Affairs Chargé of the United States Embassy in Gabon and the mayor of the 4th District of Libreville, and was punctuated with songs of poetry and other competitions with the objective of promoting the English language. Frederick Mbumba, one of the organizers of the National English Day, says, Maranatha Singers' initiative for nearly 12 years now is in line with the vision set forth by the Gabonese highest authorities who want to make the English language the second most important language in the country, which is something well supported by the United States Embassy in Gabon. The celebration that took place on Saturday in the amphitheater of the École Normale Supérieure de l'Enseignement Technique, an advanced technical teachers training school, was an incredible moment of giving and taking experience, which ended on a note of satisfaction with the award ceremony for the best students of the Gabonese capital. In Algeria, there was still doubt about the holding of the presidential elections scheduled for 4th of July, and the Constitutional Council did confirm it. Consequently, in a statement made this Sunday, the 2nd of June, the Constitutional Council in Algeria deemed impossible to organize the presidential election after the only two candidates in this election in Algeria were rejected. The appointment of Abdelhakim Hamadi and Hamid Ouarid had raised many questions. Some even wondered if these two candidates had been prompted by power in order to save time. Without a political record, it seemed almost impossible for the two men to obtain the 60,000 signatures of voters or the 600 signatures of elected representatives required by Algerian law. The Constitutional Council has not provided a date for a new vote, and according to political analysts, the Constitution offers several readings. Thus, it gives Ben Salah the right to convene again the electoral body and to fix a new date for the presidential election following the invalidation of the candidates filed so far. This notice must therefore be issued before the 9th of July. For the demonstrators, more than a mere appointment, a profound change is needed, and it is necessary for things to be done for the transformation of institutions towards more democracy during a transition period that will not be imposed by the current power. Since the advent of internet, the church has always sought to promote its use in the service of the meeting between people and solidarity among all. In his speech for the occasion, Pope Francois wished to launch a reflection on the current state and on the importance of the nature of relations on social networks and on the importance of redefining the idea of community in particular, considering it as a network between people in their entirety. Some of the trends that prevail on social networks bring us to a fundamental question. To what extent can we speak of a true community against the logic that characterizes some community in social networks? The metaphor of the network as a community of solidarity implies the construction of a togetherness based on listening to the other, on dialogue, and therefore on the responsible use for language. These communities should be established by an authentic, true relationship between people, even though these communities are formed in a digital dimension. It is important to move from the network of communities based on false relationships and false friendship to the beauty, but also the hard work that lie behind true encounters. Communication is the best keeper of truth. The choice of the theme of the 2019 speech confirms Pope Francois' interest in new communication environments and in particular for social networks, where the Pope himself is present at the forefront. Air is the colorless, odorless, invisible gas fluid that makes up the Earth's atmosphere. It allows man to obtain oxygen during the breathing process. Sometimes air contains particles that are external, inappropriate, and harmful to man. And when air quality is affected by chemical, biological, or physical pollutants, we are talking of air pollution, of which many countries are affected today. Greenpeace has called for strong measures to reduce road traffic around schools in Ile-de-France and Marseille because of their high exposure to carbon dioxide pollution. The association called Respire denounces a similar situation in Mexico, where the Mexican authorities had closed schools and suspended major construction sites in the city, while a cloud of pollution enveloped the megapole. In India, the air pollution alert has reached the maximum level. Air pollution is the theme chosen this year to commemorate International Environment Day, a day with the main objective of urging governments, industries, communities, and individuals to come together to explore existing opportunities in terms of renewable energy and green technology, and to improve air quality in cities and regions around the world. In Gabon, the festivities that began on June 1st will last for a week. Winners of the 6th UEFA Champions League edition that took place on the 1st of June 2019 at the Estadio Metropolitano de Madrid, the European champions were welcomed on Sunday as true heroes in the city located on the banks of the Mersey River. They paraded through the streets full of supporters.
That says it all. What's on my crest. Being from Liverpool, it means the world to us. And it's the best experience ever. I would have done it again and again and again. After last year's heartbreak, this means the world to us.
I mean, that's the idea. Everyone's bought into it. Everyone's bought into this idea that this is just the start of something. Last year, the final, losing it was all about coming back and doing something again. This year, it was about, okay, we've won it, that's great, let's have our party, let's celebrate. But next year, it's going to be about what can we do to push on even further.
Premier League next year.
That's what we all want.
That's what we...
The crowd, it's amazing. It's like everyone's unite. So it's like you feel like
family, basically.
Family, yeah.
Big family.
It's like unite and very homely for Liverpool, and for Liverpool supporters all over the world.
Friendly.
Very, very excited, very happy. I mean, the whole city is alive, it's vibrant. As you can see and as you can hear, it's just a party atmosphere in the air. It's just really good to be a part of. We've spent the whole day just watching
The new European champions will face Chelsea, the recent winner of the Europa League, at the European Super Cup to be held on the 14th of August 19th in Istanbul. The way out of the crisis seems to be a little further away in Algeria. Set for July 4th, the presidential elections will certainly be postponed to a later date according to the Algerian Constitutional Council, a situation that is not likely to appease the political environment in the country. Celebrated every year by the English clubs of the Gabonese capital, the 12th National English Days was celebrated this year with the support of the United States Embassy, represented by the U.S. Cultural Affairs Chargé, and the best English-speaking students were rewarded. It's a red tide. Tens of thousands of fans flocked to the street of Liverpool to welcome the Reds, the day after the triumph against Tottenham 2-0 in the Champions League final in Madrid, ending years of starvation for Liverpool. That's all for our newscast today. Stay tuned on Gabon 24 for more news.